super amazing. Once again, I welcome all of you. As a theme of this conference, Raising Generations that Transforms Nations, in every moment, in every generation, there comes a time when the direction of the nation actually changes. And this change doesn't happen in parliament, this change doesn't happen in boardrooms, it doesn't happen on global stages, but inside our homes, inside our living rooms. My children will not inherit my silence, my fear, my broken patterns. They will actually inherit something greater. I want you to tell yourself this, that your children are never going to inherit your silence. Your children are never going to inherit your fears. Your children are never going to inherit your broken patterns, but they are going to inherit something that is greater. Now, before every child can become a nation changer, someone in the home must first become a person who changes that pattern that has already been created. Today, in this conference, that someone is you. Yes, you. For long, the world has told parents, educators, caregivers that their work is something that is ordinary, but history has over and again never agreed with the statement. When God wanted to raise a shepherd who would become a king, he actually looked for Jesse. Yes, and Jesse was the father of David. When God wanted a lineage through which nations will be blessed, he called Abraham, and he transformed Abraham and his household before he was able to transform a people. When destiny rested upon one young boy named Jesus, yes, Jesus, God entrusted him to Mary and Joseph, a family, and that is a home. That is a home. God does not start national transformation with thrones. He starts with homes. We stand in a very critical moment in history. Our children are growing up in a world that is louder, in a world that is faster, in a world that is actually confusing. They are very, very, very confused. Information, there are so much out there that is shaping them. The screens are influencing them. The culture is actually influencing them. The culture is calling for the attention that is louder than culture. A presence that is more powerful than the screens. A foundation that is more enduring than the trends. That is your voice. That is your guidance. That is your values. That is your faith, your consistency, your healing, your examples. What are you modeling? This is the Parents Conference 2025. And this gathering is actually created for parents, for educators, for caregivers, anyone who works with children, who refuses to believe that children needs to be raised on autopilot. This is a space for those who understand that raising children is not just a responsibility, but rather it's a calling, it's a mantle, it's a generational assignment, because the next generation does not just need adults, no, they need leaders. The next generation needs guidance. The next generation needs people who are going to protect them. They need models of strength, empathy, integrity.
And a proud member of the Pik-Ina tribe, I was privileged to be part of the few who decided to enroll in this program. I heard about it during the Maiden Parents Conference of the Pik Academy. At the end of the conference, after gaining so much knowledge on parenting, when the Pik-Ina tribe was introduced, I told myself that I would definitely want to be part of this. And so I was ready to do whatever it took to be part of it. And in fact, what was required to be part of it was just chicken change, because The experience in there is worth millions and millions and billions of cedis. I am not exaggerating. The inner tribe has been a blessing to me and to my family. It is a place where parents are urged on to raise and nurture responsible children who will grow up to transform generations. The inner tribe has coaches who are seasoned, well-seasoned coaches who have the patience, though they are so knowledgeable, they have the patience to groom every parent to become who God requires him or her to be. I got to know about the inner tribe, and I think it is a blessing that God gave to me, because I was facing challenges in parenting, and I'm one person who always looks out for the best for my children. I believe that the society becomes a better place when we have well-raised children to take up responsibility as adults. And so I have always wanted a safe place to receive safe and sound direction on how to raise children. And I tell you, the inner tribe is the place for that. There are daily connection activities. There are weekly seminars. There are activities to do. We read books that pertains to so many aspects of parenting and a whole lot. It is a place that you cannot be and then be a passive parent. My life has changed simply because I became a triber, and I will not trade that for anything. Any opportunity I have to enroll again as a triber, I will be the first to be there, because the experience there is life-changing. I urge every parent here to enroll as an inner tribe member, to receive sound direction, to be helped, to be supported. We have coaches who go all out. They are ready available to help us tackle any problem we face as parents. We are not only trained in the area of child upbringing, but even as parents, we are also trained to imbibe discipline, to focus on our parenting journey, financial prudence, every other aspect that is required to be the parent that you are expected to be. It is taught in the inner tribe. We are not done yet, but the way things are going in there, it even shapes you as a wife, as a career woman, as a manager, wherever you are. As you enroll in the inner tribe, you realize that you receive wisdom, you receive tutelage to enable you perform better in any area of your life. In less than 1 year of enrolling in the inner tribe, the transformation I see in my children and even in myself is tremendous. It is incredible. I realize that my children now follow the routines that we have set together as a family. My parenting journey has become much easier. And then I have now come to agree that, in fact, a lot of the things we go through as parents is simply because we ourselves are not ready. We are not trained for the parenting journey, and we only vent our anger on the children. And so, kind courtesy the inner tribe, my home is now a no caning, no spanking, no yelling zone. And meanwhile, everything works as planned. We did not get there in a day. We had daily connection activities that, in my estimation, I do not know where we're heading towards with those connection activities. But as they all came together, I now came to understand the saying of our coaches always, that once you are well connected to your child, whatever you say, whatever you ask them to do, they do it with ease. It is very true. The experience in the inner tribe cannot be talked about in a few minutes. You need to experience it to understand what we are talking about. It is a place to be. I would urge every parent no matter the sacrifice it will take to be part of this inner tribe. If only you want to raise generational giants, if you want to raise well-rounded children who are equipped in every aspect of their lives, children who can take up responsibility, children who change the status quo, then I urge you to enroll as an inner triber, and I bet you your life will never be the same.
Not rise above the emotional, spiritual, and moral health of his home. Yes, we are live, we are live, we are live, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good morning to you all. I welcome you to the Parents Conference 2025 of the PIC Parent Academy. If you are new here, PIC means Positive Intentional Conscious Parenting. My name is Ekia Safo, and I am the founder of the PIC Parent Academy, where we give parents practical strategies to be able to raise wholesome and responsible children. I welcome all of you here. If you haven't shared the link, you can still share with other parents, teachers, anyone who works with children, so that they will be able to join and also learn. How was yesterday? In one sentence, just give me a sentence. How did yesterday go for you? What did you learn? What changes are you beginning to make in your home so that you can really raise your child well? Let me see your comments in the comment section. How did yesterday go? If you haven't invited anyone, kindly send the link to other parents so that they can also join us. Let me see your comments. How did yesterday go? Let me see your comments. How did yesterday go for you? Okay, welcome, Coach Ikiasaf. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bethel. I see you. Thank you so much. So how did yesterday go? I'm still waiting for the comments. I want to see how yesterday went for all of us. We learned a lot. For me, I learned a lot. Let me see the comments. The comments, insightful for me, okay? Insightful. The first session by... Okay, and one by Miracle. Yes. It was an amazing session yesterday. I'm also reminding you, you need to kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Yesterday was amazing. All right. Thank you for your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also share to other parents. We need to hear these messages. We need to hear them so that we can raise a whole new generation. As a theme of this conference, raising a generation that transforms nations. We need to raise a whole new generation so that we can change Africa. We can change the narrative in Africa. Africa must stand. We have a lot to be in this position. We have been given a whole lot to be in this position. We need to rise above the narrative that we have created for ourselves. And what we begin to do today in our homes will determine what will come out tomorrow. So share with other parents who are not here so that they can also join the group and learn. Thank you so much for joining. We are getting ready for our first session today by our dear speaker, Amina Ismail. We will be introducing her very soon so that we will kick off with our session today. I hope you are ready. If you don't have your pen, your book with you to take notes, kindly go and get them so that you'll be able to take notes, because don't just sit and just listen. Take notes so that you'll be able to implement later when we are done with the sessions. Just coming to listen and not doing anything will not really help. You need to take notes so that you'll be able to implement when we are done with the sessions. I welcome you once again. We are still waiting for the bio to be played. So share in the comment section. Let me see how yesterday was for you and what was your Okay, I'm seeing insightful for me. The first session, okay, I've seen all of that. Yes, that's great. That's great. Okay, so we are getting ready to join for the bio. So let's go on and listen to the bio of our speaker.
Farah, and a proud member of the Pik Inner tribe. I was privileged to be part of the few who decided to enroll in this program. I heard about it during the Maiden Parents Conference of the Pik Academy. At the end of the conference, after gaining so much knowledge on parenting, when the Pik Inner tribe was introduced, I told myself that I would definitely want to be part of this. And so I was ready to do whatever it took to be.
Ismail is a public health consultant, entrepreneur, and Amina Ismail is a public health consultant, entrepreneur, and strategic voice in gender-focused child development with a growing reputation as a leading advocate for the boy child in Africa. She is the founder and lead strategist at Nurturing the Boy Child Academy, an innovative platform providing transformational resources, learning interventions, and coaching for parents, educators, and institutions invested in the holistic development of boys. Her academy is redefining what it means to raise emotionally grounded, purpose-driven young men in today's fast-paced world. With an associate degree in Islamic psychology and over a decade of hands-on parenting experience raising 4 boys, Amina fuses real-life insight with research-backed strategies to build safe, empowering environments where boys can thrive, not just survive. She is the author of the acclaimed guidebook, Now I Have a Son, What Next? A practical tool for mothers navigating the complex journey of raising boys in today's world, and the creator of the widely used connection cards for moms and dads of boys, a 60-piece activity deck that has helped transform relationships between boys and their parents across households and communities. Amina also brings her expertise into the field of maternal mental health, where she is passionate about leveraging digital health technologies to improve emotional wellness outcomes for vulnerable women. Her research and interventions in this space are gaining recognition for their innovative and impactful approach. Whether she is delivering keynote presentations, designing family-centered solutions, or engaging thought leaders on parenting and development, Amina remains a credible voice and visionary leader committed to reshaping the future one boy at a time. When she is not working, you'll likely find her experimenting with recipes and baking irresistible banana bread and cakes for friends and family. Ladies and gentlemen, Pik parents, let's welcome on stage Mrs. Amina Ismail.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from. Please let me know if you can see me and you can hear me. So the only way I can tell is if you drop a comment in the comment section. That's how I can see it. Yes. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes. Okay. Okay. I think I can be seen. Can I be seen? Can I be heard? Thank you. Thank you so much to my dear sister. I'm so honored to be here. Okay, good, good, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. It's so Aqua is we've been on this impact journey together for about 3 years now, I think. Yes. So she's like a sister. And so when she called, I was like, there is no excuse. I will be here. So how are you doing? Thank you so much for putting this together. Thank you for changing the narrative of parenting in Ghana and all over the world. Thank you. I see what you're doing and it's awesome. So today, did you come? Did you come protected? But the truth is, I do not. I say it as it is. There are no filters, nothing. I just say it as it is. And honestly, when it comes to the boy child, we've gotten to the stage where we should be saying it as it is. We've gotten to the stage where we need to be honest about what is going on with our sons, what is going on with our men, and how we can show up differently for them. So yes, basically for me, okay, I don't know. I'm supposed to have slides showing somewhere. So can the team please put up the slides? Yeah, so we can run through really fast. But I want to know, let me know if I have moms of boys in the house or dads of boys in the house. Please, if you have sons, please put it in the comment section. Let's meet there. Let us let us gather together for a selfie. Let us say it as it is. How it's not the easiest thing, but at the same time, it can be the biggest blessing. It is for me. It's I don't even know what it is not to have boys. Like whenever my eyes just pick up boys wherever it is I am, I just see boys because it's been a journey. It's been a journey coming from a place where I grew up with a house with 5 girls. Yes, it was just the really last one who was a boy. And so I had no idea, what growing up with boys would be like. And because the last one, because he was in the midst of girls, it was just easy for him to blend into that. So like now, I now got blessed with 4 sons. So it hit me. It hit me. I was like, what's going on? What's happening everywhere? But with time, it wasn't just with time. Honestly, I got to the point where I knew I had to do something differently. It's not parenting. We'll get it now, but no, it was different. When God wants you to grow, he puts you in a situation that makes you very uncomfortable. And then that was it. That was where I found myself and I had to start learning because why can't I deal with all of this energy? What's going on? You're flying on the walls, you're jumping here, you're flying there, and you're not even listening when I say calm down. And so it was not easy, but I started to learn. And as I started to learn, it opened my eyes to a world, an entirely, different world I didn't even know existed. When they say that your bedroom is too small to raise a child, that was me. So I had very awesome parents and all of that, but there was so much happening outside our home that I didn't know about, So basically, it was God wanted me to stand up because if you're going to function, how do you function in a world you don't understand? So this is my call. Whatever it is I'm going to be saying today, don't just say, oh, she's saying it just about herself. Just personalize it and take it and run. Okay, this is what you need to do now. So that was it for me. I needed to learn. And then I started to see how, okay, so understand it wasn't now about just the boy child. It was about what's going on with men. It was now like, okay, it's like there's this silent war, gender war between men and women, which I never knew. Like I've never known that there was anything like that existed. There was this thing about mothers and sons and the men of today, how they still are tied to their mothers. It was just a whole new world. And then I said, okay, this was what God wanted you to do. This was why God gave you this assignment to go on. Now, strap your boots because it's going to be a long ride. And I know that there's so much that has gone wrong. We didn't get here overnight. So we're not going to leave overnight. But we need more voices. We need to be able to say it as it is. We need more voices to be able to back this narrative that says we need to change the way we're raising men, raising boys. We need to change the way boys are being raised. So without further ado, I'm just going to go. The topic is the making of men, guiding boys to purpose, discipline, and character. As if, it was like this topic was just curated for me, because one of the things, I'm going to take you through a tiny visualization process and ask you, when you think about your sons, what do you think? What comes to your mind? I'm speaking 10, 15 years from now. What comes to mind for you? What do you see? Where do you see him? What do you see? And for me, it was just constantly having that thought in my head, constantly having it. And that was what made me say, okay, stand up and work. Because with all of these dreams, it will not come to fruition till I actually do the work. And for me, character is big. Maybe because we grew up in a home where, we literally were, we were groomed to be empathetic, to be compassionate, to love sharing. Like it was the best thing. And then I go around and I see that this is not something that comes to everybody naturally. So can you see how there is work to do? Whatever it is you want, you need to be that thing, and then you need to teach your children very intentionally. And so when it comes to character, when it comes to discipline, it is something I'm very, very passionate about, because I see 4 hefty men coming into my house, at different times, at the same time, whenever. And then even wherever it is they have gone, whatever it is they have become, and by God's grace, they will become. And that I pray for that for all your sons too. Whatever it is they have become, whoever it is they have become, when they come in and they come to me, there is this sense of, I am home. There is this sense of humility. This was the place that made me. This was the place that groomed me. So if you're seeing that vision for your son, if you're seeing that is what you want to be able to give him, and I'm not just speaking about your son, like, okay, the ones you gave birth to, biologically. Now, because the moment you listen to this, they say whatever you listen to, God will hold you account for it. You're here in this room. You're not just listening for listening's sake. You're now going to be an advocate for every boy that you see out there. We just treat them like they're a burden, they're a problem. You will start to see a boy as the work you need to do. What do I need to do to help this boy that I'm staring at right now? So I have 4 biological sons, but I can't even count the number of, or I call them adopted sons I have. Because when I see a boy right now, I do not see the problems. I see what the potentials, I see what he can be, I see who he can be, I see the leader he can be. And that pushes me to stand up, because what wishes, they say if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Wishes do not come true without you putting in the work. So yes, I will take us through the process of, because I always love to start from, where are we? Where are we? And I'm sure you would know that we are not in a very good place now when it comes to, the way boys were being raised and the men that we're dealing with today. Shout out to all of the men that are doing their best every day, showing up in the way that they can. But trust me, there was a disservice that was done to them. There was a disservice that was done to the millennial man today, where he was just told, okay, you'll be strong, be responsible. You're the one that will carry the family name. You're the one that will carry all of the financial burdens of the family. Oh, you're the one that will go to school and all of that. And when you go to school, you're just meant to take care of a family. It was all about money, finances, how much can you bring to the table? But he was not taught how to become a leader, how to become a man. What does it even entail to be a man? Is it just the money? So we reduced men, literally reduced men to only how much can you bring? And I'm not speaking, the fathers reduced them or the mothers reduced them. We both brought these boys up. So the society, which includes you and I, reduced men to how much can you bring? And so a man looks at himself today, and the only thing he thinks, the only way he can really classify how worthy he is how much money he brings to the table. How did we get here? What happened to his identity? What happened to his purpose? But we'll get there. And so we told them, you have to be strong, you have to be a man. We didn't even teach them anything about emotions, how to handle them, how to show up, how to show up even when you don't feel like showing up. And that's why right now a lot of men are showing up, but they're showing up like their families are a burden. They are showing up like they are doing you a favor by even doing the things that they do. because they haven't even done anything for themselves. Like, we'll get there, we'll get to identity. But can you see, I just want us to paint that picture so we take this seriously. You have a boy in your house, you can't just be looking at him and all you're doing is shouting, screaming, and then you give them screens to keep them quiet because they have a lot of energy. All of that energy was not put in them by mistake. But now we have taken that energy and we say, no, this energy is too much. Now let me give you screens. Oh yeah, sit down. Okay, let's go to what screens are doing to them. Should we go there? Let's go there. So now screens are making them become even more socially awkward than they have ever been. On a normal day, boys do not. So the connection, I'll not take you through the nitty-gritty, like the details, the science details of it. But where, the language center of the brain, for women, there are two language centers, but for the man, it is just one. So can you see how we use a lot of slangs we use in Nigeria palace. So can you see how we as women, we love to talk, we love to gist, we love to tori, we really do love to talk. But men, are not all of them really love to talk or can. Maybe some of them may want to, but they just not. That's because the language center is one. Now, are you going to look at that child and say, because that's just how you are, so you're just going to leave him? When we know that communication is the backbone of every center, everywhere, whether it's the home or it's at work or it's in school. When a boy cannot communicate without, first of all, without raising his fist because he doesn't know how to use his words, can you see that you're doing a disservice to your son? And then we gave them screens which have actually rewired their brain, screens which have actually made them become people who ordinarily, it doesn't come easy. Expressing themselves doesn't come easily to them. Now we have added screens, and those screens have made them become so socially awkward. You talk with boys and it's difficult to have a 2-minute conversation and he looks comfortable in his skin. He's fidgeting, he can't even concentrate. So can you see how we're doing a disservice to them? So not only are these screens stealing their time, these screens are stealing their humanity. I go around, I do outreach programs to schools, put boys together and say, okay, come, let's gist. So we gist and we talk, and then tell me how many hours you spend on the screen. And with pride. So that was it. So for me, I felt like, when would this disservice stop? Because the different thing, if he's saying it and he's like, I know my parents don't think this is not, as my parents think this is not okay, but I'm still struggling with it. But it is with pride. Like they will sit comfortably and tell you, on Saturdays, that's all they do. I'm talking 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours on the screen. Can you see how you're not just stealing his time, you're stealing his humanity? He doesn't even know himself. He doesn't even know those around him. He doesn't even know how to interact with his environment, with the people he's surrounded by. All he knows how to interact with are those game pads, are those control pads. And he's lost in this virtual world that promises them everything and gives them nothing. That promises reward, that gives them instant gratification. They are getting coins. They are getting this, they are getting that. Oh, you're moving to the next level. And that makes them feel like they are all that and so much more. But can you translate that into success in real life? And now we've taken it a step further. Not only are boys engaging in just being caught up in screens and gaming, now we've moved to the social media. Now we've moved to them interacting with the opposite gender. We've moved to them interacting with people they don't know. We've moved to grooming. The amount of people that are grooming boys, the amount of perverts that are grooming boys today, all in the name of playing some dangerous games called Roblox. And if you still have children who are playing Roblox, Biko, check it. Check it, because they are interacting with people whose names are FXGYXXD. You can never put a name to them. You can never put an address to them. And those people can come into your DM and start to chat with your sons and start to groom them and start to tell them things. And because in that very state, people have lost their children because of the terrible relationship they had with a groomer who groomed the boy till he made the boy commit suicide because he couldn't provide for him what he wanted. Can you see how we're locking ourselves? So to us, we're protecting them from thieves, from bad influence outside. So we keep them in. And this, even while they are inside with our high walls and everything, they are still open. They are still open to dangers. Can you see how much work we need to do? Can you see that our boys are in crisis? Okay, now we have moved further because I interact with a lot of schools. I love so in this part of the world, it was difficult for parents to understand. Like parents are still so far away, and it's the reason we're doing what we're doing and we're not resting. They're so far away, they don't understand, they don't get it. They're like, none of our parents went to parenting academy. What are you saying? Why do I have to go and learn? But now, on the other hand, the schools themselves that spend a lot of time with these boys, there's a way you will the boys have learned to show up in a certain way at home. They just want to show up either way, whatever, I'm going to school. But when you're with your friends, that's when you see the real character of children generally, and boys too. So their real character comes out when they are with their peers, and so who is with them then? Is it the parents? No, it is the teachers. So educators get it, educators get it on a different level. And so when you go to schools, you hear a whole lot. What these parents don't know is happening to the children, the educators know. And they are in each other's DMs. You see this thing called phone that we give our children? It literally is killing them. And they are in each other's DMs. Now they started to send nudes to each other. They started to play some kind of very funny games with each other. They started viewing pornography. Oh, a lot of boys are they are masturbating. There's so much that is going on that is making a mess of their brains. And I wonder when will we get this? When will these boys recover? Like if they are neck deep into something like this, when, how long will it take for them to come back from this and get back to the right track? So we literally are allowing their lives to just be wasted, even in their teenage. They haven't even tried anything. They are still under our roofs, yet we have failed them over and over and over again. I'm taking time to what's it called? To really, I need for us to immerse ourselves in this crisis, because it's easy for you to say, oh, no, it's not my son. I know what he does. I'm with him from morning till night. I put, Google link. There is this, there's a parental control and all that. Well done, ma. Well done, sir. But do you really know your son? Do you provide an enabling environment where he can speak to you, where he can talk to you, where he can just express himself to you, or you're still busy shouting at him up and down? And just because you seize his phone or you don't even give him a phone, you think that is okay. Do you know maybe his friend has a phone? Do you know? Maybe the gate man has a phone. Maybe your house help phone is the one he uses. Maybe it's even an uncle's phone. Oh, I heard there was this one. It was his cousin. He had access to a whole lot of nonsense, and he found it first on his cousin's phone. Can you see how we can't rest? And can you see how we haven't even started working yet? So, and what those things are telling him, a boy who is 15, 16, already exposed to porn, he's helping his classmates sell her nudes to get money. And I'm speaking like 500,000. They really, literally, they're selling nudes for money. How desperate. What is it? Why have we just materialized everything such that all our children see? And it comes from us. Oh, it does come from us. Yeah, so why they see Hush Puppy is driving a Lamborghini, they see Pella with his no English or half-baked English is jumping from one country to the other. It goes back to you. Let's stop blaming them. Let's come back to us. Oh, I'm too busy. I need to make money to put you in the best school. Oh, I'm too busy. Make money. That is all they hear from you. You're always too busy for them. So can you see how the whole attention, them materializing everything. Can you see how you're connected to that? Can you see how you're playing a role? Because a lot of times we speak to parents and there's just this oblivious. I'm like, what is? No, I'm doing my best. I'm showing up. And then you start to break it down to them. And they're like, okay, I see. And we give them access to so much that they haven't even earned. And we say, no, I don't want them to go through the life I went through. Do you know where I had to trek? We're entering buses. We're doing this way. You do not know that thing built you. And now with the comfort, to do more work to be able to raise a child that will have the resilience you have now. Because there's no bus for him to jump from one place to the other. There is no downfall. That's what we call it in Nigeria, somewhere in Lagos. There's no downfall for him to keep jumping from. There is no bike for him to keep flying bikes up and down. He goes in an air-conditioned car. Now you have to intentionally put in some things, difficulties that will help this child to become resilient. Yes, when he comes home, we don't want him to enter the kitchen. Oh no, my son is too tired. Oh, my daddy, you are too tired. Can I come and help you? What do you need? And we're there, just raising boys. A lot of boys are involved in cyber crimes because it's all about this money and how fast. Because we told them, can you remember what I said in the beginning? We turned men to ATM machines and they see their fathers. All the fathers want to do is make more money and make more money and make more money. They hardly see their fathers sit down and say, okay, these are the values in our home. This is who we are in this house. This is who your grandfather was. This is who, beyond money, they hear nothing. It's just money, money, money. When they go to TikTok, money, money, money. They branch Instagram, money, money, money. Snapchat is the worst. Please go home and go and check your children's phones. For those of you who give your children's phones, please go and check your children's phones. And if you see Snapchat, people just know that there is work for you to do. And I will bet with almost everything that they are on Snapchat. Nobody does WhatsApp. WhatsApp is for oldies like us. And so with all of this, then when we want to step in, we step in with punishment. Oh, I will deal with you. And a lot of us now will go home. Say, I met that, listen to that coach Amina, and she said that, and so bring your phone. You're on Snapchat, you're grounded. You're grounded. I'm collecting your phone. You're grounded. You're grounded for the next 1 week. I'm not going to give you this phone. Okay. And so what has happened? You've just told him, okay, you're not going to give him the phone, but you've not told him why. But you even know why yourself. So that's why we're telling you, when they say register for parenting courses, register for programs, learn about parenting. It is not what happened 30 years ago when you were a child. You cannot apply those same principles now. Stand up and learn, buy books, read books. Aqua puts up courses. She has a parenting academy. Please join. Please. Where you will learn about how children are thinking today, not children that were born in 1990, not even children that were born in 2000. It keeps changing and we keep evolving. And so you have to be in a place where you're constantly being aware. You're constantly learning. And so we say, oh no, we're going to punish you. We're going to punish you. We're going to deal with you. We're going to seize. You're going to kneel down, stand up, I'll flog you up, and all of those things. So we come that way because we want to raise responsible boys, and then we wield the cane. And then we scold, we shout, we yell constantly. Not knowing that we're even breaking those children more. Not knowing that we have not taught anything. Because when it comes to discipline, discipline is teaching, discipline is training, discipline is guiding. Discipline is not just wielding the cane. Discipline is not flogging. Discipline is not criticizing. Discipline is not being judgmental. Mothers, come and sit down here. Let's talk. Because for us, we'll get there, but I just needed to bring your attention more here. Because we are the ones with them at home. And I know it gets frustrating, all of the energy, everything, especially when they're getting to that age where they're becoming assertive. And so you say 1, they say 10. And so you're like, hey, now enter manipulation. You know this tummy carried you for how many months? I'm going to deal with you. And then we go on and on and on and on and on. In the end, he didn't learn anything. He just learned that when you're frustrated, that's how you express your frustration. So will you be surprised when he's doing the same thing to his sibling? So we need to model. Discipline says, punishment says you did something wrong. Here are the consequences. I'm going to collect your phone from you. Discipline says, see, I've just learned something at the parenting conference where I attended, and it has just shown me that we are capable of so much more. You're not going to understand this. It's hard for me. I'm learning myself, but let's go on this journey together. We will need to work on the number of hours you're exposed to this phone. We even need to know, why do you even have the phone in the first place? What are you using it for? Can we put together our mission? What is our aim of having this phone? I'm learning. There's something about accepting that you're not perfect. But there's something about being a parent and just say, bam, I have brought a child to life. I am perfect. There's nothing you can tell me. There is nothing. I am the alpha, the this, the that, the everything. Who told you? Who told you? No, you're not. No, we're all on a journey of learning. No, we're all still learning, especially because there was a lot wrong with our parenting. And some of it was said in one of the sessions yesterday, how she was talking about how the need to heal. They need to heal because we felt like everything went well in our parenting, but it did not. We need to go back. Our parents did the best with what they had, but now we have access to so much more. Can we just become humble and start to do the work and go back to say, okay, this was the gap. This was the gap in my own parents' time. This was, and that is why I am this. That is why till you can do that mapping, till you can actually take pen and paper and write things down and say, okay, yes, I take responsibility now. And I'm not saying you should go and hate your parents because of this. Even God will ask you. No, like I said, they did their best with what they knew how. Now you have access to information. You have access to parenting academies. You have access to parenting books. Because what's your excuse? What's your excuse? You have none at all. So this is why I'm saying we're going to look at the difference between discipline and punishment, because our boys don't need more punishment. I see them. Oh, I was somewhere one day and in trying to correct the child, he just dragged the child like this. Yes, the child was being very saucy and disrespectful, but just dragged the child. And I was like, wow, well done, adults. So that's the best way you can actually show this boy how to build his character. So can you see that even us, and these things, they're happening all around you. They're happening all around you. It might be in your home. It might be in your child's school. It might be in, even sometimes, even in the what's it called? The children's section, teenager section of the church. And interaction between adults and teenagers, it just there's some form of friction. Before you know it, the adult loses steam. He just loses his temper. He gets triggered. You have to heal that inner child of you, inner child inside of you that is hurting. Or else you will bleed on someone who needs guidance, who just needs you, because these ones are bold. We were scared, everything. Mommy is coming. Everybody run under the chairs. These ones don't care. Mommy came, talk. Sorry, we just said we'll do the dishes when we're done playing our game. And they will tell you to your face, and you're like, hey, who could try this with my mother? You will never try this with my mother. Come here. And then you start to hit them. What have you taught them? First of all, you've taught them that there's something wrong with their generation. There's something wrong with them in this generation. That's the first message you've passed to them. And then you see now that there's a war, generation war, and it's a very, 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 very unwise thing to do. Because every generation comes with its own good and with its own struggles. So can we be humble enough to accept that even we had faults? Yes, there's so much. There are morals that are being lost. But trust me, it didn't start now. It started because even us, we did it out of fear. We didn't understand a lot of why we needed to do these things. And so we are not teaching it to our children. Now we're complaining about them. So when do we want to take responsibility? Is it when these children are old and we were old, and the children, we can't even, we don't have that influence over them anymore? Why all this haughtiness? Why is there so much pride in this thing called parenting? Pride will halt your parenting process. Pride will make a mess of your parenting process. We need to come vulnerable. We need to come respectful, and we need to earn their trust. That's the only time we can influence them. So boys don't need more punishment. They're drowning in consequences they don't understand. They need intentional information. They need you to be intentional. They need discipline in its truest sense, which is guidance and not punishment, which is connecting with them before correcting them, which is knowing their what's it called? Knowing their learning style, knowing their personality, knowing who they are, pouring into them. Do you know how many boys are lacking someone just speaking life into them? Telling, I see you, I see where you're going to go. You're going to become awesome. You're going to be a leader. You're going to lead a family. You're going to be, you're going to be a light for others to follow. How many times have you told your son that? So you think tomorrow he just wakes up and he's excited to lead, or he's excited? He will not be excited about anything because he has just struggled through life. He even hates the life, but he can't say it. Even the family, nobody even told him what he needs to do to be able to show up in the way his family wants to. So he's doing, and he's so disconnected. He's so disconnected. So Now, we have to go back to see, what do we need to do? We have really gone deep to say, this is our reality. Now, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? And I'll call it the 3 pillars of manhood, of which it's not like one is without the other. They are all interwoven, right? But these 3 things, trust me, if you do it, if we do it, and it's not going to be easy, especially if you have sons who are older. If you have sons from 5 and below, come, just go and eat chicken when you're done after this class, because whatever it is you're going to be, when they're younger, they're like sponges. They just take in, and it's easy. And I will say it for a fact, because even today, when I constantly thank God, and somehow I feel guilty, for my last 2, especially the last. I started very early with him, where I had already started learning and all of that. But the older ones, I didn't start so early, and the difference is so clear. This boy is grounded. This boy is so solution focused. He is so, even today, something happened to him. He was trying to fill his water bottle, and when he was filling it, the water spilled on him, and it poured on him completely. So he was drenched. This was someone who was just to fill the water bottle, put it in his lunch bag, and go to school. And ordinarily, a child would lose it at that point, and he would just, and start throwing a tantrum, and what's going to happen to me, and all of that. But he just came and like, Mom, what am I going to do now? Okay, I think I have another shirt. Can I go and check it? Okay, wait, Mom, wait. Let me go and get the mop to. He was already going, so he could see that he was just using me as a sounding board. He knew all the things to do, and I didn't even say a word, because I have also gotten to that place where when things happen, as long as there's no fire burning, can we calm down? Yes, he poured water on his body. I could see he was trying to do a good thing. That was the intention. As a child, he will make mistakes. Even as an adult, don't we make mistakes? So when it happened, it almost comes to me naturally now. Almost every time. I would not say every time, because almost sometimes I lose it. But I was not, hey, because when you do that, you destabilize him. So I created a safe environment for him. Nobody was screaming around him, so he could think. And he said, okay, Mama, can I go and change first? Oh, no, let me get a mop first. And, those are the things he was. So he's so solution focused. I have done something. Now, what do we do next? And then we walk through the process together. And then I was now able to tell him, okay, when you're pouring the water, this was the mistake you made, you should do it. But by then he was changed, and his brain was still receptive to the correction. But what we do, we scream, and when we scream, we make them agitated. Their brains are just, it's either they're fighting, or they want to just leave that place, or some of them are just frozen. Why have you made a mistake look like they brought about World War X? Why? Can we see how we're the ones that actually need to reparent ourselves, so we can show up for these boys in a way that, how will you take this boy now? And I'm speaking about, because this is why I would continue to speak good about them, and even the boys who are struggling. This boy now, if his child does something tomorrow, or he's arguing with his wife, or there's a misunderstanding with his wife, do you think he will go raising his voice up and down? Did anybody raise his voices at him? Okay. So there's a lot we need to do. Teaching, discipline is teaching. Discipline is teaching. Discipline is teaching. And so in a state of his being calm, yeah. Okay.
You have a few minutes to end your session, unfortunately.
Okay. So we're just going to run through our 3 pillars. And so our 3 pillars are, number 1, identity and purpose. There's no class I do with boys, I take them back to who you are. Who are you? Who are you? And trust me, a lot of the times they don't know. What's your strength? Who are you? What's your strength? What do you do? What comes naturally to you? What are the things you struggle with? Nothing. The part where I always get response first is, what's your best meal and what are your hobbies? And that one comes out, no, is PES, is what, is Roblox, is this, is that, that's where you get the answers. That's where you get them. So we need to get boys to sit down and reflect. Who are they? What's their identity? And then what's their purpose? And this purpose doesn't drop on them. It comes by exploration. It comes by experimenting. It comes by dealing with mentors. It comes by dealing with coaches. So when you hear people say, oh, we're doing a program for boys, I beg. I'm still dealing with his grades. Which one is program for boys? There are some things they don't teach in class. So he needs to hear you say, see, I see your potential. You're very creative. I constantly make comments about boys when I see what they, and they really are indeed very creative. Some of them draw a lot. Some of them need to let them hear that let that be what they're hearing from you constantly. Now, oh, you're constantly throwing your this here. And then we shout and we make no impact. So you need to expose boys to who they are. Mothers, fathers, there's so much you have to do. There's so much you have to learn. You need to discipline boys. I can sit down and sleep in this discipline, but we've talked about some of it, right? That discipline is guidance. Discipline is teaching. Discipline is not just grounding them for no reason. Discipline is getting a boy to finish what he starts. Discipline is self-control, because a lot of times we're saying, oh, our men they are promiscuous. They can't stick with one. Oh, it's a man's thing to, to have more than, what's it called? To have side chicks. It's compulsory. No, it is not. That man was not taught self-control. That man was, so the assignment I'm going to give you today, and I know that we're not, this is who I am. I constantly give assignments wherever it is I go, from my boys to now you parents. So go and look at that experiment called the marshmallow experiment and carry it out on your sons. So the marshmallow, right? The marshmallow experiment. It's all about delayed gratification, self-control, and helping a boy to know that you don't have to follow your desires all of the time. And it can come from little things like even eating. It's not you don't have to be so stuffed and always full. And it comes from little things like, okay, we bought this snack, but we're not going to take it till we get home. And you hear there's a tantrum, but by the time you do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it next tomorrow. That's what you're doing. You're teaching self-control. You're literally equipping him with the skill of self-control. And today is the snack. Tomorrow it will be something else. Tomorrow it will be him saying no to what's it called? A premarital relationship, because he wants to preserve himself for marriage. Can you see how these things are very, very related? So character for me, that's where you find me. But it is very tied to discipline. Character is, who are you when no one is looking? Who are you when no one is looking? Emotions control, integrity, are you resilient? Oh, your work ethic, are you honest? These are things. Can you communicate without using your fist? Can you just talk? Character is caught more than it is taught. Parents, what character are you showing in your house? What do you do at home? What do you do? What do they see? And so the role of mothers, number one is go and seek knowledge. So I'm going to group everything now. Mothers, fathers, seek knowledge. I have talked about knowledge before. You need to show him. You're the mirror to show him, confidence. For a lot of mothers, they do not have the support of, a present spouse. Expose him to good role models, male role models. In our book, Now I Have a Son, What's Next? There's a part where I interviewed men who are walking the walk, men who are talking, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. And I asked them, what would you have wished your mother did for you? So you should get that book. And so you're listening, you're not just doing what you want, you're speaking in his own love language. So we come doing what it is that we think, but no, what does your child really need? And so when you listen to other men, I love to listen to other men now because I'm dealing with boys. I need to know what other men think because they think differently from us. So you need to learn. Can you see why learning is compulsory? Learning is continuous. And so I am just going to end it here because our time is up. See, when we raise boys well, we will build men of purpose. And when we build men of purpose, we're building nations that stand. Aqua is talking about raising a generation that is different. Let us raise culture shifters. Let us raise people who will stand. Boys are meant to lead. All of this that we're doing, where girls are here, girls are in business, girls are in tech, girls are everywhere. Where are our boys? So go home and think about that. Where are our boys? Thank you so much, Aqua. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How did you feel? In fact, how are you feeling? Parents, how are you feeling? This session has been hot back to back. The way we are raising our boys needs to change. We need to raise better men. We need to raise responsible men. We need to raise men who are disciplined, who are able to control themselves. Thank you so much, sis, for this insightful session. How was it? I don't know. We have just 2 minutes for questions. So if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the comment section so that we can look at them for you before our dear coach leaves. Any question, any question, any question, let us know because we are ending soon. Okay, I believe there are no questions. In fact, how the session has been, I'm wondering if anyone has any question. So thank you so much. We honor you. We don't take your time for granted, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And hope to see you again next year, right?
Great, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so we are done with the first session. We will be having the next session very, very soon. We will share the link in the group. If you haven't invited anyone, kindly do so that we all can learn and make Africa better. See you in the next session.
Farah and a proud member of the Pik-Ina tribe. I was privileged to be part of the few who decided to enroll in this program. I heard about it during the Maiden Parents Conference of the Pik Academy.